And now it's time for your gay history lesson. Today's gay history lesson focuses on our gay innovators, inventors, and scientists that forever changed our lives. Now, we all know that LGBTQAI plus people are already some of the most creative humans on Earth, but we also have a lot of brainy, super cool, nerdy gays that have always been a part of our gay history and major contributors in science, space exploration, and innovation. That's right. Today we are nerding out over some LGBTQAI plus persons that have made huge impacts in science, and I'm here to tell you all about them. So put on your lab coats and break out your favorite Bunsen burner and beaker. Let's experiment with some gay herstory. In fact, did you know that the father of empiricism and modern science was reportedly gay? That's right, Sir Francis Bacon. Bacon. Anyway, Sir Francis Bacon has often been called the father or big daddy of modern science. So he's the daddy of modern science. His works argued for the possibility of scientific knowledge based only upon inductive reasoning and careful observation of events in nature. Most importantly, he argued science could be achieved by the use of skeptical and methodical approach whereby scientists aim to avoid misleading themselves. Without the groundwork that he laid, many of history's most impactful science discoveries may have never occurred. So thank you to Sir Francis Bacon, our favorite meat and big daddy of modern science. Then we have rumored to be lesbian Florence Nightingale. Now, most people will know Florence Nightingale as a nurse during the Crimean War, checking on wounded soldiers during the night, giving her the name, the Lady with the Lamp. But most people don't know that she was, in addition to making nursing a respected profession, she was also an accomplished statistician and creator of some of the first infographics. She's a lesbian with visuals, y'all. She was the first female elected to the Royal Statistical Society and became the first woman ever to be awarded the Order of Merit by the British government. Our next historical contributor is Frederick the Great. That's right. He was particularly famous for the innovative way in which he revolutionized agriculture using the humble potato. Frederick found an innovative and kind of sneaky way to convince his people of the value of the simple crop of the potato. He pretended that they couldn't have it because it was too valuable. I'm serious. He planted fields of potatoes around his Berlin residence, and he had his royal guards, quote unquote, protect them as if they were gold. Okay, this made the peasants take note that these humble potatoes must actually be quite valuable. So what they didn't know is that Frederick had instructed his guards not to really protect the potatoes that well at all. Like pretend to be asleep or to look the other way, basically allowing the peasants to successfully steal some of the crop, and then they try to plant it in their own fields. This actually helped the spread of that vegetable. So that's why we have potatoes everywhere. Get the respect it now enjoys. But what a shady gay putting all those taters out there, all those tater lies out there. But to this day, if you visit his grave near Berlin, you will see people often putting potatoes on his gravestone. Next, we have bisexual and Black Washington Carver. Yes, hunty. Carver was an American agriculture scientist. He was best known for his work in peanuts and sweet potatoes to improve soil quality in the southern United States. He was, at his time, once called the Black Leonardo. Born into slavery, Carver's former master raised him and his brother as their own children and encouraged them to pursue their intellectual advancement. He rose through the academic fields where he was researching crop rotation at the Tuskegee Institute, placing particular emphasis on using nitrogen, fixing legumes, little beans and stuff, to improve the conditions of soil depleted by cotton usage. Now, this is where it gets really nerdy. In order to encourage the use of peanuts, he is believed to have invented and cataloged many uses of the legume, including 105 recipes and several patents for using peanuts in the production of cosmetics and stains and paints, and a lot of different products. However, it is a myth that he ever invented peanut butter. That had actually been eaten by the Aztecs way back in the 15th century, so it wasn't his thing. But he was believed to have been bisexual, having both married a woman and had a relationship with a man later in life. Boom, chicka, bow, wow. Another lesbian pioneer was Sally Ride. Sally Ride was NASA's first female astronaut going into space in 1983 and still holding the record as the youngest American astronaut in space at only 32 years young. And did you know that even Da Vinci might have been gay? That's right. Leo kind of kept his love life private, but it's widely believed that he was a homosexual based on the accounts from those who knew him at the time, as well as court documents where it was revealed that he had been involved in a sexual encounter with several men. Ooh, scandalous. And Alan Turing, a British mathematician and the father of the general purpose computer. However, in 1952, Turing was charged with the crime of quote unquote gross indecency after admitting to having had a homosexual relationship with another man, which was a crime at the time. And it meant that he could no longer work for the government communications headquarters. And then, in exchange for not going to prison, he was forced to accept chemical castration, which left him impotent. A sad end to a brilliant mind's life because of homophobia. And of course, there are too many LGBTQAI plus inventors, innovators, and scientists to even list, and some that were never out, or safe to be out. But a special shout out to all of our current out and proud brainiacs that are alive right now, currently working in labs, in schools, and in organizations that expand our knowledge, innovate with new things to make our lives easier and better, and the ones that think outside of the box and make life fun and more hopeful. So thank you for all of those innovators, inventors, and scientists that are out there right now. Thank you so much. To get a full list of these and many more amazing innovators, scientists, and inventors, plus to see links from articles used in this segment, please visit the Out of the Closet podcast. That's at outoftheclosetpodcast.com. And that's your gay history lesson for this week. Tune in next week for an all-new lesson where we're going to discuss the infamous Limelight nightclub in New York City, how a church was turned into an iconic gay nightclub, the birth of the club kid, and tons of drugs, celebrities, and scandalous and scary stories that happened underneath the disco ball. So you won't want to miss out on next week's gay history class. Listen and learn, and the best student gets to dress like a club kid and dance to a 90s dance track. Woo! Official close to this episode of the Out of the Closet podcast/vodcast. Thank you so much for listening and or watching. I really appreciate your time and your support. I want to thank all of our guests that joined us today. Thank you to our pet fostering expert and the queen mom to all of her sweet fur babies, Jay LEHEW. If you want to get involved and foster a pet today, maybe even adopt a pet, just log on to the podcast website, outoftheclosetpodcast.com. I'll post links to the Dallas Pets Alive organization in North Texas, as well as a list of other no-kill shelters and foster groups around the nation, and information on how you can get in touch with Jay directly should you have any questions about pet adopting, pet fostering, or even rescues. All right, she's going to be your go-to source for all of that. She's so amazing and very willing to help and assist you in creating a home for a pet in need for your gay-ass family to love and support. And a massive thank you to all of our amazing sponsors. They are all gay owned and or gay friendly sponsors. And I please encourage you to go check them all out and support them all. They all give all of our listeners and viewers discounts. So to find a complete list of our sponsors, plus all the discounts, you can go onto our website, outoftheclosetpodcast.com. And if you're interested in advertising, you can actually email me directly at andrew@outoftheclosetpodcast.com. You can advertise on this show for less than a trip to the Piggly Wiggly for a tube of Astroglide, okay? And I promise I'll squeal with excitement. But let's face it, it's cheap, it's affordable, and it supports this gay-owned podcast. vodcast. So thank you so much. For all things Out of the Closet Podcast and to see videos from today's show, you can log on to the outoftheclosetpodcast.com website. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel by searching for Out of the Closet Podcast with host Andrew Pettke. That's me, Pettke. And you can follow and like our show on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Just search for Podcast OOTC. All right. If you have any show ideas, questions, or need advertising information, please give me a shout. Send me an email. You can hit me up on social media. And if you have an idea for a charity that you'd like to see highlighted on this weekly podcast, send me a message. I'd love to hear who you think needs to be highlighted on this amazing program. All right, you have to join us for next week's podcast for another gay-mazing time. We're going to be talking about holistic health and the benefits of CBD. All right, there's myths out there about CBD, and we're going to break through all of those. We're going to tell you the truth about it and more with founder and CEO of One CBD, Ty Burgess. You will learn a ton of great information about CBD and holistic living and Ty's amazing journey to health and how he was able to get off a ton of prescriptions and found a healthier alternative. Plus, we'll be talking about the ultra unique, multi-talented film director and creator of so many gay cult classics, John Waters. Waters celebrated his 75th birthday this month, and I'm excited to tell you all about his life and the impact he's made on our big gay world. And we'll highlight an organization called Digital Queers. That's right, a San Francisco Castro-based activist group that work to bring gay-oriented nonprofits up to speed online through better modems, Power Macs, AOL software. Remember those AOL software disks, all that stuff, email tutorials. So I'll teach you all about that organization and where they are today. And of course, we'll have gay history, we'll have games, fabulous outfits, laughs, and more, all on the next episode of Out of the Closet Podcast. It's been a gay old time. Thank you so much for listening and spreading the word about this podcast. If you loved it, I'm grateful and I'm so appreciative if you tell just one friend even about this podcast. Tell a squirrel friend about the Out of the Closet Podcast, all right? And don't forget to be safe, be proud, and strive to always be the most true version of yourself. Can I get an amen? All right. Until next time. Woo! Out of the Closet Podcast. I love you. Hey, it's Andrew. Do you have a business or a service that you would like to advertise on the Out of the Closet Podcast? Well, if you do, I'd love for you to become a sponsor of the show. We can get your business in front of our amazing LGBTQAI+ and ally listeners who can't wait to hear all about your company. Plus, it's really super affordable. Right now, you can be included on 4 podcasts for just $250. Want to get started? Email me at andrew@outoftheclosetpodcast.com. Thank you.